Goddamn idiot. Now at least we can see. I don't know why. Don't know why.
Something got you down?
Had your rations yet?
What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? I am a Spacer's Choice certified surgeon, and if you must know, I can stitch a severed thumb with a 58% chance of avoiding gangrene. Go ahead.
Nice. I need to go and take some dirt off his ass somehow. They still look like Connor. Wanted, Graham Gill, from the Space Connectors Department, recollection. Why is execution effective immediately? Our space mediation terminated from position occurring from Egg Waters unauthorized. He wanted for destruction.
Wish we had some better rations.
Just the way it goes, I suppose.
I don't know how we're gonna get into there without causing some trouble. Let me get my drift. Or we gotta knock him out. Well, some say he did.
Grave digging's a fine profession. Always work to be had, and nary a word of complaint out of your clients. You run into any trouble? Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Yeah? The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Some great big starship packed full of colonists what got lost in the aether never to be found again? Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Can't say it was terribly convincing far as rumors go. There a reason you asking? Hope's just a rumor, friend. Ancient rumor at that. Maybe you've been out in the sun too long. Why don't you head over to the cantina? Get yourself some Zero-G brew. It's a brew that's good for what ails you.
Mm. Somehow I need to talk to that guy. Then I'll go do it. If not, I'll probably just go and get and finish up the other two, and I'll probably end that there, maybe. Hello.
What can I do for you? Go ahead. The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame. Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat
going
the
to this
best
again.
among us. Mr. Thompson's brainchild. Have you met him yet? Thoughtful-looking fellow, stares out of his office most hours.
Your Honor, letter from Phileas. Repetition of himself is too bad. The company's going to have to call it. That was destruction of Space Cunner's choice property, and Gene had to pay his body price. It's going to be run with us. It's going to ruin us. So I was thinking that you have be pawing off this teeth. Everyone you said a golden teeth is from his falling. Something the pressure of his body, right? Just dig around, find anything out. At least teeth somewhere. What do you think? Do you want him back in the fact? Don't worry, don't talk to me, just give me a special single if you see me. Wiggle your eyebrow. Oh, there's energy in there. Oh, Pokemon like that. Water or not? Oh, okay.
What can I do for you? You know about Eugene? How?
Yeah.
You probably heard it from one of our local gossip mongers. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. More than a few. Those teeth were his personal savings. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
You're gonna have to.
Yes, I suppose I must. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature, and an IOU.
Pleasure doing business with you. Pleasure doing business with you. Oh, Jesus. You're finally getting this thing, and this shred, this task. Ram.
Something I can do for you? Yeah? What about him? Yeah. Funny thing, Eugene's body ain't where it's supposed to be. The night we was supposed to commend his body to the earth, I had his grave all dug up and ready, right? And so I thought, I'll just rest my eyes a bit. When I woke up, his body was gone. Spirited away. Vanished. The footprints nearby suggested that Eugene was stolen by marauders. Or he rose from the dead. Let me know if you find anything. You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. Abernathy was sick? With the plague? That's disgusting. I shook hands with the guy. What? No. If I knew he was sick, I would have had him reported. I needed his fees because of his name. A, for Abernathy. He was at the top of my list, you see? And I'll buy you a drink sometime. Suppose you've earned it. Your turn deserves another.
That's done. That's it done. Now the map is the main quest. We'll do that. We'll get in that a little bit, then we'll do the side quest, and I'll end this there. It's interesting to tell you that.
Please, wander around. Touch things. I'm awfully contagious.
Jeez. I would have killed the guy if I wanted to.
The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Yes, so it dawns on me. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town.
Alright.
Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
I don't have any leadership.
That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide back. Nonetheless, I will settle for the return of her followers. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
Okay.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
I'm gonna better grab this.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad
That'll help
to
me
hear
for my
that.
trip.
Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
New mansions. You have gained a companion. The job is to your adventures. Companions are provided their skills emphasized. They will increase the character's capacity. You can also unlock special companies' inspirations in the company's log. Are you going to get in here? Are you in?
Hey, mister, can we talk? Sorry. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody
Hmm.
well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident.
We can look out for him.
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. Alls I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place.
Hmm.
Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. The sound carried, but not the words. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if you can get out to her. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's folk to their fate. Their neighbors. Kin. And maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. He used to go walking outside town. Maybe he found something that'll help. It's just an idea. That's all.
Interesting.
The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it. On account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, mister. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
One of me says. On campaign large, just messing around with this stuff we do. Map. Interesting stuff here, I tell you that. Okay. Map. Marauders. Oh, hello. It's interesting creatures here.
Got it. Heads down.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. Yeah, go ahead and ignore the lady with the gun.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you
Got that,
staying
brother?
long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old
Tobaccorn of
spittoon,
tobacco
but
tea.
it's been cleaned.
That's nasty.
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice. Ah, cynicism. The privilege of the young. What you need is a little taste of my special mushroom soup. It'll broaden your mind. Or at least your irises. A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
Ask me to divert your power over to him. But this is serious. I'm about to cut the power. Well, it'll be a good thing here. I can't save. Damn, they're good at this.
You're doing this for Reed? Why?
No.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip 'em out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems
I
the sort of
see how this
thing a
is gonna go.
hero would do.
I'll get in there. No. A hero to you, maybe. I'll consider it, but what we have
You've seen
against...
that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? Your father died of overwork. His heart gave out.
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and he raised me all by his lonesome.
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
Maybe your main point clear enough? No. Yeah, let's do it. If I help you, what will happen?
Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it.
What are you against it?
You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps.
I'm basically just trying to
Hollowed
go
out
through all the
workers
options.
laboring their lives away at the cannery, living off whatever scraps Spacer's Choice throws them. It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bones. You've been there. You've seen it. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery.
Yes, you have a
So?
point.
What do you say? Divert power over to us. Shut down that abominable cannery for good.
No promises, but I'll consider it. Boy, I'm gonna
I
consider it.
trust you will listen to your conscience.
Oi, boy. Ay, ay, ay. Very moral. So that must be the geothermal there. I'll go to this thing here. I'll go and see what it is. What does the thing want? So let's talk to Vingard. Let's see how that goes.
Heard something outside the walls today.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Hey there, Mary. Don't see you round here too often.
Oh, I just came to talk to the vicar is all. None of us are above confessionals.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice?
I'm just asking.
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Isn't that right?
Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts. I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls. My retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious?
I'm just...
It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early thinker on the nature of man's place in the cosmos. Not many in this colony could understand its true value, should they ever read it. Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
I got a perk now, along with more skills. Melee. More to that. Defense, I should work on that now. I think leadership should go up now. Tag, I'll probably do it the next time or next level up. Now I have another perk. You get encumbered?
Where are we headed? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here. Could be. Reckon I'll never know. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vickers says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. The Vicar's about the only soul in the Vale who spends his time thinking on what is and ain't right. It's just that when he looks at me, I feel I'd disappoint him.
Now I'm in a dilemma here. Power for the many. You can go for the power of the many or to them to be prosperity. It all means you go against the company, of course, but it's just very like a lot more old things again. What would be the best way of doing that, no? done all the options. Again, I got from perspective. Deserters left for a reason. Either because of how the place was and people died. She wants it. Her father died, was keeping her. But she says she's blind by the company. They are living in prosperity. The father, I would say, says do what's for the many. So you can direct the power away from them, or let them come back to the city where things are horrible. And yeah. In all honesty, depending on how you see it, I think I'm gonna redirect the power to them.
Okay, gone quiet.
Because that's all it is, really.
I always wanted to poke around in here.
They're like fucking drones. Drones. There's two of them. Oh boy.
Unexpected. System.
Son of a bitch. Oh, this is gonna be interesting, ain't it?
Oh,
Just move on your path. You little thing.
processing. Security patrol initiated. Processing security patrol initiated.
Incoming!
Got it, got it, got it, got it! Oh, that was like in a rush.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
Shit, no.
Searching for.
Oh! Can't get past that armor! That's the last of them!
Huh? Well, we got all guns blazing. Terminal. Let's see. Redirect the power stats. Retrieval thermal. Access report brought to you. Space choice. Operates 22 at efficiency. Ag water and the Black Laboratory. Warning, structure detecting may notify design supervisor. Master control terminal. Warning, safety features of the hull moderate and severe structural damage. Reduction of power is irreversible. Produce. Processing the redirector has failed. Manual override required. Please activate 3 of the switches.
Three switches. That'll be easy enough.
You say so. Personal files. Oh. Geothermal property of that. Geothermal office. Personal logs. Security. Chester Hampson again. Hall foreign around machines so they're hard to work with him. Tempering property just in case reading this. A couple days from now feeling bad what I've done. I just let him remind myself that I warned him. But I always let a crook of the skull. Working logic, it should be fine. Valid personal log. Thanks, Chief of Security. Doesn't sit right with me. Company has been replacing our guards with automatics. At this rate, Chief of Security, we have no staff, just set arm knocking down. Way the company tells safety program and us I don't know what the site before it's post. Personal logs. Chief of Security wasn't happy. We should have gone crazy. Locked myself down here. Gotta encourage myself. I will delete entity that will remain. Security chieftain is currently automated messaging rate. Space search choice workers connect these locked down. Inside to 0G. Bro. Except welcome Robert. There's him. Activities.
Great work! Two more. What'll happen to Miss McDavid's folk if we send power to the Vale?
Searching for unauthorized persons. Beginning
Good thing I know I kept this in here. I do want to try out that.
way, Phantom!
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Unexpected.
Here we go! Everyone all right? Nice one!
Symmetry control. Workbench allows you to repair, upgrade, or modify your weapons and armor. Ah! No wonder. I got rid of those things too. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what I have. Oh, interesting.
Dang, that's impressive. Where'd it go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil?
It's a good question. I think we're going to there. Good boy.
Unexpected noise identified.
Incoming!
Mm-hmm.
not sure what the right is. Alls I know is the decision's final.
Goodbye, it's final. I know I'm doing though.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Hey, mister? Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
Okay, making our final choices here. So you're probably thinking we're ready to make a decision. The deserters are a community. I can't destroy their bolt.
That sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes,
true?
those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
Nice.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Okay. Revert the power. Continue. To laboratory. Because if you think of this through right here, before this is final, you gotta think this through here. Because as if I'm seeing from the Eugene that they're losing people here and there, and medicines distribute only to the ones that are needed, which is wrong. And also, some just is just bearing to survive as well. So if you think of it that way, when you look at the laboratory, they build things up fair, they fed the hungry, they did what they can like a regular human should. In the minds of all, some minds of all, they're like the moral dilemma. But I'm redirecting to the laboratory because it will help the people back there before. Even though the company's gonna hate my ass, but it's better do that. At the files. Plus, the machines are just replacing them. But it's the better way of doing that way to laboratory.
System. Performing an area sweep now.
Here they come! Take cover!
Suspicious found you found a flaw in you. Robophilia. 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 Effects. Temperance. Precision. No. Only because they're hostile. It's only because they're hostile to me. It's just because they're a robot flaw in me is basically saying that I hate robots. No! I'm doing it because they're hostile. Well, if I'm going to communicate with the robots, that I'm not bothering with that. I can do that.
Huh?
Nice little texture glitch. That's reflection. That's awesome. What we got? Subject, your theories. I find most disagree the theories on Earth is a great planet colony system. Sadly, much as I appreciate the board of the new frontier open to us, I believe the high claim of all other colonies are filmed in the galaxy are settled. Do you think the corporations will accept Federation exclusion? Spirit Adventure, Jefferson. Of course, I can never dispute the Earth and heart of the whole colony system. The real adventures impart the human nature and the thieves. And furthermore, you think about Ron history through discovery of the ship on a great life and earn the powers. Collector's letter. I've got a letter today, copy order from Rico the engineer. Corp Water and Training Shrine, looking rapture and tell us best collection out here to part in river.
Easy.
Thanks to me, Gary, companion perks. Give it the 4 boots. I see how this goes, probably bad. Probably not welcome to that town anymore. Oh boy. Your power's still there. Oh, that's not, I don't know.
All the lights in town went out. Since then, I've had wild-eyed workers begging my guidance. I'm surprised you would go along with this action, Ms. Holcomb.
I'm not sure what the right and wrong of it is, sir. But leaving the deserters with neither walls nor lights would have left them to the mercy of marauders.
Let's hope walls alone are sufficient, then. Oh, inarguably. This town was a pustule on the ass of the architect. Metaphorically speaking. You took it upon yourself to decide the fate of strangers. I don't know whether that's confidence or arrogance. Either way, I'm fascinated.
Nice.
They who are not satisfied with their work are satisfied with nothing. No. How about, work fortifies the spirit. True exhaustion awaits idle hands.
Yeah.
What would you like to discuss?
That's horrible. I can tell you that.
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this French? I can't fucking read French. It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. Overreacting? Do you have any idea how many years I spent in... No. You couldn't possibly know, could you? I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
At least you still have mission, you know, work to give your life meaningful purpose.
Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
What a philosophist. No, I'm not doing that.
The story of my life. Most lay people are not aware of this, but we've not discovered any new insights into the plan for a long, long time. I had an idea that we should welcome, no matter where we found it. I had the worse idea to share my thoughts with a superior. And that's how I ended up assigned prison duty, where I was fool enough to let an inmate bend my ear with stories of an original Bakonu journal.
Which is probably less shockingly. What's that?
Yes, you're right. Such are the workings of the equation. And I've only my own hubris to blame. I certainly never planned for this contingency. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship.
I have a ship.
Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
Welcome. Welcome.
Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk
that's
my
good
way
guns
out
for you.
of conflict, though. Oh,
That's it?
I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
What now? Let's go. Are you real, Victor? That's part of Victor training, right?
Of course. I'm a vicar who is dedicated to his calling. More dedicated than any other you'll find in this colony. I joined the OSI to help decipher the grand plan. But
Okay.
instead, I ended up the vicar in a prison due to ignorance and politics. Then I came here. Satisfied?
I'm just wondering, that's all. That was good.
Fantastic.
Let's go.
Let me get my things in order and I'll catch up with you.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you,
want
Miss
you.
Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave.
Going
the
to
sail.
you. So he's busy
I
doing
can't
that.
stop thinking on Edgewater, Captain. I'm glad the deserters are gonna be alright now they got power, but what about the town? All those people.
We'll talk this later. So you're gonna be yanking on my chain for a bit. Journal. Yeah, she's gonna hate my ass for that. I wonder, what is my reputation? I'm curious. Positive and negative. Highly positive. Okay. How was that working? I'll take it. I'll take it. The board, that's 2%. Let's talk to the boss.
Maybe Adelaide was right to leave.
Desertion is a criminal offense, punishable by hard labor.
Too loyal to the dogs. Loyal to the dogs.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
Not personal. Teach you a lesson, really? I am not an ass. I don't owe you an expedition. It's not personal, I need the power. I don't owe you an explanation, I
You're
don't.
right. I put the fate of our town in the hands of some feckless transient. This is my fault, and all Edgewater's paying for my mistake. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you.
Let me take. Call off your guards, don't want bleeding over your power regulation. I don't even have that imitate thing at all.
Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence. Apologies won't give us our lives back, but for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
So we got some meat. Okay, so we're gonna need. We have 10 more of them grown up. We need dialogue. 4 of them are in there. 2 in defense. 2 in melee, stealth. I'll keep my leadership up. Because we got more health.
Okay, keep him quiet.
Might help you.
Here they come!
Has decreased. Oh yeah, it did. Because I killed their fuckers. I didn't enough imitate. It would have been avoided. Just by how much did they drop? Air mix, yeah, I expect that. Other mix of, hey, I hate you, but you're good with us. I hate you, I hate you.
Get ready!
I didn't want to do any more damage to you.
Here we go!
Yeah, they're gonna hate us. They're probably gonna send us on a fucking hunt on us.
Wow! Not even a scratch!
They're now scared. I didn't have an imitate. If I was imitated, then I would. I'm not. Then I wouldn't have done it. And they have completely hated us. You won't do any more damage if you just let us go. We'll let you live. That's just how it is. It's sad.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome! Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too.
I'm taking you no matter what, though. Oh, glad to have you along. Pick your cabin, it's yours.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't
I
regret
need
this.
an engine, man. I need an engine. I can't do all this shit myself, even though I'm very...
I can call you Captain now.
You already called me Captain in the first place.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room. I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
I'd like to know something about I'm flying with. What's your story?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifests to track the Philosophist's off-world destination. Thank you, Captain.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator?
Oh, no, I can. I can do that, but I don't have the skills for that. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. No, I don't. Lie in my teeth.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Yeah, no, I'm doing. No, I don't. Really workbench somewhere. Good. Got your own very own ship. Have a lot of guns though. I just had a better pistol. I need to keep at least a spare gun at least. At least keep 2 spare, 1 for our one. That was a big clean inventory overall.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
We can't do much because I abandoned the power and do all the bounty hunts, so it's gone. But the space colony hates my ass. We now hit flight, and for a long ass time, holy hell. It's amazing it gets dark early now, it's just goddamn amazing. And once our savings taken, it's gonna get way darker earlier.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me. help us find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits, first-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you.
Yes, I have a lot of those things.
Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Rolling. I think we're gonna end this here. We're in good far in good places. We'll explore more of the ship and we'll continue on with our adventure. So anyway, if you guys enjoy this, please leave a follow. It means a lot to me. And I hope to see you guys again next time. Bye bye.